Haunted by the fear of fading away after death, Julian, a talented artist, sought immortality through his art. But inspiration eluded him until a small favor for his sister changed everything. Discover how a simple shoebox diorama with his nephew taught him that true legacy lies not in fame, but in the hearts we touch. Julian sat alone in his vast studio, the silence amplifying his anxieties. A giant white canvas loomed, mocking his creative block, and the fear of being forgotten after death hung heavy in the air. He longed for a masterpiece that would immortalize him, but all he felt was paralyzing doubt. Every brushstroke felt inadequate, every idea too small to secure the fame he craved. The thought of fading into oblivion made his chest tighten. Just then, his phone buzzed, breaking the heavy silence. It was his sister asking him to watch Sam. Julian hesitated, thinking of his important work, but a quieter voice urged him to say yes. A brief respite from his torment presented itself as he thought about his nephew. When Sam arrived carrying a shoebox, Julian barely registered the interruption. "I have a school project," Sam announced eagerly. "Can you help me build a diorama?" Julian nodded, and they knelt on the cold floor of the studio. The big canvas watched silently as he shifted his focus to the small, unassuming project. It was hard to believe the creative energy would soon shift from the large canvas to a small shoebox. They began by painting the inside of the shoebox, a deep, rich blue. Julian showed Sam how to mix different blues to create the perfect sea colour. Julian's mind began to clear as he thought about fond memories of his childhood. Sam's small fingers clumsily held the brush, but his smile was unstoppable. Together, they glued soft cotton balls to look like clouds floating above the tiny ocean. They folded a piece of paper into a little boat with uneven edges but full of character. They both smiled with great pride when the little boat was able to float on the blue colour. In those moments, Julian lost the tight grip of his fear. The world of monumental achievements shrunk into simple, loving acts. He was simply enjoying the company of his nephew. He was no longer a man chasing immortal greatness, but a collaborator building a tiny world with a child. The daunting pressure that Julian had been facing began to lift as he spent more time with Sam. When the diorama was finished, Sam held it up, eyes shining. "This is the best boat in the whole world, Uncle Julian!" exclaimed Sam. Julian could feel the gratitude emanating from his nephew. Julian looked at the simple creation, imperfect, modest, and far from gallery-worthy. The humble shoebox diorama became a symbol for Julian, showing that a positive impact is more important than fame. But he also saw joy and pride reflected in Sam's face. This tiny boat, this little project, was a legacy too. Julian came to realise that the positive influence he could have on Sam would be more than enough to call his life fulfilling. No grand masterpiece, no fame, just a memory, alive in the heart of a child who mattered. Julian smiled as he embraced his nephew. Julian felt his anxiety begin to melt away, replaced by quiet peace. He felt at peace knowing that love would always be the best legacy. Returning to his studio, he pushed the intimidating canvas aside. He felt joy now that he realized happiness came from more than his paintings. He picked up a smaller canvas and dipped his brush into vibrant color. The smaller canvas felt easier to work with, now that the pressure of immortality was gone. This time he painted, not for eternity, but for the moment, just for himself and for memories yet to come. Julian finally realized that painting did not have to be for others in order to make an impact. He painted a scene of Sam holding the little blue boat, capturing the joy and pride in his nephew's eyes. The picture showed the impact the boat had had on Sam, but also on Julian. As he painted, Julian smiled, knowing that this memory, this moment, would live on in his heart and in his art. The small but meaningful painting made Julian smile, finally putting an end to his fears. The fear of being forgotten faded, replaced by the warmth of love and the joy of creating. As the sun set in his studio, Julian could not wait to see Sam the next day. Julian realized that true legacy wasn't about fame, but about the love and memories we leave behind. He thought about all of the lessons he would teach Sam in the coming years. He imagined all the little blue boats they would build together, each one a symbol of their growing bond. The thought of this time with his nephew made Julian ecstatic. And he knew that even after he was gone, those boats and the love they represented would continue to sail on in Sam's heart. A small boat diorama hung on Julian's wall and made him smile. Julian understood that legacy wasn't about being remembered by the world, but about being loved by the people who mattered most. He was happy knowing that Sam loved him, and that love, like a little blue boat, would continue to sail on, carrying his memory far beyond his lifetime. Love is a great way to be remembered for many years to come. From that day forward, Julian painted with a new sense of freedom and joy, no longer burdened by the fear of being forgotten. Sam and Julian spent many years together making boats. He knew that the best way to leave a lasting impact was to live a life filled with love, kindness, and creativity. The painting was not perfect, but it had love and meaning behind it. And so, the little blue boat sailed on, a symbol of a legacy built not on fame, but on love. Julian smiled and felt peace in his heart. Julian knew now that he would never be forgotten because he had influenced so many people, especially Sam. As the days passed, Julian began to feel even more hopeful.